Hi everyone. Let's switch cameras here. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit more. Today, usually I do a community read with my oracle cards, but I feel like today I just wanted to pull out my bones. I added some new stuff to it, and I just wanted to do an overall general reading for the community. So I'm just going to get these bones moved around as I do. Focus on the energies of the new moon that you want to tap into. We're going to do an overall general for the community, and you can take whatever message you receive that resonates and leave everything else. Hi, LH. I hope you're having a good time. Hi, V. Hi. There is one more there. Chime. Hopefully, I said your name right. Hope you guys are having a good week, a good Friday, and I hope this new moon in Leo has been treating you well. All right, so I'm going to just go and do a general reading for the community. Okay, let's see what we have here. So, hi Mojave. So we have, let's see, this looks, what is this? This is the one. Oh no, it's before. I can't read these numbers yet. So we have here a few things but let's just talk about the overall energy and then I'll look at the dice. It looks like as a community, we have some not negativity, sorry. We have some new opportunities opening up with some friends, maybe making some new friends, or you have a new phase of your friendships that are starting to open up. We also have this really good energy here. It looks like you are going to be, or you're in the middle of something new financially. You're starting to see new things pop up, whether it be like maybe promotions coming down the line, or new jobs, or maybe even something more education wise. If you're applying for schools, you're going to start to see that coming to fruition. But I would be careful because there's a little bit of negativity here that doesn't seem to be geared towards anything in specific. So I wonder if that you've just been a little stressed out about these things that are in motion. If you have a spirit team, they are hanging out here with you. Over here, though, let's look at all of this. Let's look at the bones we have here. There's some disappointing changes that were going on, and it seems like it is kind of separating you from everything that is down here. Over here, we have the self bone that is on top of everything else, which is a good sign. It means, and this four here is a sign that you've been tapping into that Leo energy, perhaps. Maybe you've been tapping into that fire side of you, the passions, things to overcome the stresses and anxieties in life. You're starting to find balance within all of the things that might have once been a little fearful for you, and you're starting to come out on top of that, which means you've been putting in a lot of hard work. You're seeing this growth here, and it's starting to make you feel rejuvenated. It seems here we have overall whatever you are working on. Let me see what this number is. So you're working on something that is affecting you externally, and it's going to be something that's a little difficult to overcome, probably surrounding this disappointing change that happened. And then it seems like maybe in the next 5 months, you'll start to see some of the changes that have been happening down here. So keep an eye out for that. All right, guys. So my queue is acting up a little bit. So I apologize for that in advance. But right now I have VLH and Kame in the queue. So if you want to join, just use exclamation point join. I'm going to do it the old fashioned way. And when I call your name, just go ahead and put your question in. So if you enjoyed my bone reading, I will do it again next week. I have been getting back into my bones now that I've added my little dice in. I feel like it's finally complete enough to share with you guys. Even though I have been doing bone readings for quite a while. And if you would like a more detailed bone reading, like a more personalized, detailed one, they are great tools for getting an overall energy, the overall understanding of a situation. And then, especially if you're not sure what you need to dive into, the bones will definitely help you figure that out. Hi, Violet. I hope you guys are doing well. If you did anything interesting for the new moon, let me know. We are going to be using the Untamed Mystery Tarot again. So if you're here last week, I was using my ethereal visions, but I've come to the conclusion that is not a live stream friendly deck. Just doesn't quite give the right vibes. It doesn't work the way that I want it to work. But if you guys did anything fun for the new moon, or if you're planning on doing anything for this weekend, let me know. Let me get this deck all shuffled, and then we will go through the queue. These are the really plasticky, weird cards, so excuse me if you can hear me being butterfingers over here. All right. So up first, I have V. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. And then Mojave, if you wanted a question as well, just use !join, so I know you're here for a reading and not just hanging out. And then I have LH, Kame, and Violet. So I really love these cards. I'm excited to use them a little more. I was a little put off by them for a while, but I've come to like it. All right. We will come back to the LH. If you are still hanging out, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Oh, there we go. Let's see if A will reach out to you. Will A reach out to B? Five of Cups. No, I don't think so. The Five of Cups is a card of disappointment, and I think that maybe you're putting all of your buckets, all of your eggs into one basket. So the Five of Cups is, like I said, a card of disappointment, but it's also like not noticing the good things around you. So I perhaps wonder if maybe A is not the right person that you should be wanting to reach out to you. So I'm curious if someone else is around that you might not quite be taking aware of, who may also like you. I'll be curious. Okay. And remember, guys, if you want a more detailed reading, I take one card. I do one cards from the general queue, and then I do multi-card readings from tips. All right, LH, you would like to know, does Chuck want to feel like he has control of you? Does Chuck want to feel like he has control of you? You're welcome, V. Let's see. Putting this deck live on camera is stressful. We have the Sun in reverse. Yeah, I kind of yeah, I kind of feel like that is probably the case, especially because the Sun in reverse is a sign of like egomania and being selfish. So I think that selfishness is probably manifesting as control of you. So sorry about that. That kind of seems weird, or unfortunate, I should say. Not weird. All right, up next we have Kaime. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. Jasmine, I will get your question when I call you. I feel like, no, I don't feel like you should be mean. This is a huge red flag. Let's see. I feel like regardless of whether they have romantic feelings for you, anybody that, I mean, if they weren't like joking about that, I'd be like, bye. Let's see. Does Corentin have romantic feelings for you? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. These slippery cards. Let's get another good shuffle in. You're very welcome, LH. Thanks for joining. I might do another bone reading later if you want to hang out. So we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. I would say that's definitely a no. The Eight of Pentacles is about like hard work and focus, and in reverse, I feel like so this is why I'm gonna say no. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse can sometimes borderline on obsession, and I don't think obsession is romance. So I'm gonna go with no in that. But I feel like, whatever vibe you guys have between each other, I feel I think you're probably starting to feel those red flags, and you should probably take notice of that. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This is someone who is a perfectionist. They don't handle like frustrations and setbacks well. So I would just be very careful of that kind of energy, bringing that kind of energy into your life. Hi, Esha. How are you doing? Got you added to the queue. All right, Violet, you are up next. And then we have Jasmine and then Esha. You missed my bone reading, Esha. You're welcome. Good luck. Let's see. How does B feel about you? How does B feel about Violet? B and B. I am doing quite well. I hope you are as well. Hope you are enjoying this energy from the new moon. I feel very rejuvenated around the new moons. You have the Three of Swords in reverse. So I don't know if you guys have a history, or maybe your circle of people has a history, but this Three of Swords is saying that there is room for there's room for figuring things out, but nothing has been figured out yet. So if you guys went through something previously, that still has to cycle through. The Three of Swords is about finding forgiveness, or there being this element of clarity and recovery. So I don't think that there's necessarily feelings yet, because you have to go through that finding clarity, introspection kind of phase first. So I would say if you guys are like in a no communication kind of thing, especially with the swords card, there might need to be some communication that happens first, so that way you can discern, like, both parties can figure out, okay, this is kind of how I'm feeling, and then maybe come back and reassess. I feel like Streamlabs today is just Streamlabs is not feeling as rejuvenated as I am by this new moon. All right, Jasmine, can you put your question back in the chat for me? You're welcome, Violet. Good luck. I hope you get through that phase pretty easily. Christine, yeah, just go ahead and put exclamation point join, and I will add you to the queue. You guys will have to let me know how you're liking these cards. I really like them. They're hard for me to read, but I see they show up really well on camera. Oh no, do you have a stalker on social media? Let's see if you have a stalker, Jasmine. Let's hope not. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. I would probably say no. I would say no, but this doesn't mean that you don't have someone around you that's kind of giving off this Three Cups vibe. So the Three of Cups is like being disconnected, which is why I say no, that they're not stalking you, but being disconnected, but also feeling stifled. So that can be a very chaotic energy. So if you've been feeling that by someone, or maybe this is how you've been feeling actually, then maybe it's starting to manifest as, like, not to say you're paranoid, but as just a worry that maybe it's something external that's happening. But it could just be maybe you have been feeling a little disconnected and feeling like maybe your creativity and your intuition has been a little stifled lately. So I would recommend trying to find ways around that. But I don't think I would worry. Not at this time. I wouldn't worry about being stalked on social media. So if something happened and like emotions are running high, then that's probably what's going on. So I hope that helps you. Esha, you are up next. It's so weird. I don't understand why people stalk people on social media. Like, get a life, let people live their lives online and offline. Let's see. Will Kate, the Gemini, move on and start a new relationship? Let's see what Kate is doing. Seven of Pentacles. Getting a lot of Pentacles cards today. So I do see her, or yes, I'm gonna assume Kate's gender. I'm sorry. I do see Kate moving on. Seven of Pentacles is a card of investing, but also growing. So I feel like this is a sign that they are, planting seeds elsewhere, trying to grow and figure out what it is that they want out of their own future. So yeah, I definitely see this as like a sign of her trying to move on and figure herself out. And yeah. I'm sorry if that's disappointing. And the thing about the Pentacles cards too is like that earth energy is, so neither one of you is earthy, but that earth energy is a very slow moving thing. So it might feel like from the outside looking in, like she's just lingering or hanging out, but just probably processing the situation. You're welcome. Thanks for joining. All right. Up next we have Christine. So I'm gonna ask the first question and we will see if that answers the second question. Does Ashak love Christine? Let's see what we have here. We have the Seven of Swords. Getting a lot of swords and sevens, I've noticed. So the Seven of Swords, Seven of Swords in reverse too. So let's just say that, so it's hard with one card, right? It's really hard to discern the full picture of things. The Seven of Swords in reverse is finding commitment, but taking responsibility. So it's not very much I'm in love with this person kind of vibe, but it would depend under normal circumstances what's surrounding this card. So what I see in this is they feel committed to you, whether that means that they love you or not. I would take it as probably yes, just based off of what I can see in this card. Um but just in terms of your question about the future, the Seven of Swords is still in reverse, is still not without its challenges. So this is probably a good question to get a deeper reading on, because there's a lot of ambiguity without having other cards around it. But in terms of the here and now, I would say that they probably do love you. They are committed to you, or wanting to commit to you if not already. And yeah, and I think that this is definitely a subject you can dive deeper into. Hopefully that helps. Antique, go ahead and put your question in the chat. I'm actually going to close my Qbot. It's acting up and I got to troubleshoot it. You're welcome, Christine. So for those of you that like to know what decks I'm using, this is the Untamed Mystery Tarot. This was a Kickstarter, and it's by the Wheel of Fortune Tarot.com. I think they have an Etsy, if I recall. So Antique, if you have a question, go ahead and put that in chat. Do you mean physically or like their personality? Just want to make sure we're on the same page in that regard. Okay. Thank goodness. I'm not really one to pull out features, physical features. So let's see what. Oh, I'm sorry. I see what I'm having the case of the Fridays. How does your future look? Okay, let's see. It is a bit of a broad question. So, how about I weed it down for like the rest of the year? How's your future look for the rest of the year? Still a broad question. Hard to do with just one card, but it'll get us pointed in the right direction. We have the King of Cups in reverse. Getting a lot of reversals. I wonder if I have to change this deck, but it doesn't feel wrong, so I'll go with it. So the King of Cups in reverse is a sign that you're kind of gonna go for the rest of the year, go through a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. There might be something that happens that causes you to feel a little intolerant of the people around you and just kind of over it, that kind of vibe. But also there's a warning about becoming dependent on things for your emotional fulfillment. So I would say for the rest of the year that you kind of keep eyes out for signs of things that would affect you or maybe knock you off of your emotional stability, whatever that could be for you. The King of Cups in reverse can also be a sign of like abuse, but so maybe this is you beating yourself up for whatever situations that are going on. So again, this is just a warning to not let yourself fall into that trap. Find ways to find I guess healthy ways to feel emotionally fulfilled, instead of whatever people find comfort in a lot of stuff. It's COVID out there, so who knows? But what I always like to say is, try to find ways to flip that energy upright, because upright, this is balance. There's this air of strength and generosity, but emotional fulfillment as well. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, when I first read your question, I added like extra words in when I read it. I don't know what I was thinking. So hey Blue Flame, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Doing some new moon readings and figuring stuff out. How about you? Hopefully you guys have fun things planned for this weekend. If you'd like a reading, the queue is actually like it's quiet today, so go ahead. You can just put your question in the chat. My queue bot is being a butt, so I turned it off. Or chat bot, rather. And just so you guys know, I do have my oracle card, so if anybody is wanting an oracle card, I can always do that as well. Oh no, I just went ahead and turned it off. It was working for Twitch, but not YouTube for some reason. I have no idea. Just straight up decided not to work. It never even turned itself on for YouTube, which is funny because that's my main account with Streamlabs. So go figure. Maybe something is in Gatorade right now. I know. I'll have to test it out some other time when I can be bothered. And it's crazy. It worked so well for the last few weeks since I set it up. And then suddenly today just doesn't want to work. So I might just try removing Streamlabs as mod from YouTube and then re-adding. Might work. We'll see. Gotta love streamer troubles, right? Do you have a question for the cards today? Yeah, and it's frustrating because sometimes it'll work fine and then just not work, and I have no idea why. So I'm gonna try the good old turn it off, turn it back on thing. I might try since it. Yeah, go ahead, shoot. I might try to do another Sunday fun day, depending how tired I am from the convention this weekend. Let's see. Let's see if you'll receive a message from her. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Actually, yeah, I do. I sound surprised because we've been getting there's a lot of reversed energy in just online today, I think. But yeah, you have the Ace of Pentacles. The aces are always a sign of new beginnings, so new things coming through, which could be a sign of a new message. And then Pentacles is like the physical things around us, and I count messages in that as well. Um, but then also there's like this air of um like abundance and stability. So I think maybe if you do get a message from her, it might not be a bad message. It might be fairly neutral. So I wouldn't like stress if you do get something from her. But I will say that I always give this caveat is that earth energy is very rooted, so it could take a while. The fact that this is an ace though makes it feel like it's a little sooner rather than later, but still it's not going to be like tomorrow or next week or anything like that, because Ace of Pentacles would be still, even to me, comes off as a few months. And I just like that element of new beginnings. So you have no connection or no contact. You'd be surprised how often people just message people out of the blue. It's so random. I get random messages. Oh no. I think I double booked myself for this weekend. Yeah. Well, that makes sense then. I mean, if I don't know if you're hoping that you'll receive a message from her or not, but I do feel like maybe somewhere down the line in the next few months you'll maybe something will happen in the universe that will cause I'm gonna try something out on you since you are hanging out with me. So I have my dice for my bone readings. We'll see what kind of situation it is and how long it will take for this message to come through. So we have here 3 months, and then this is nope, I'm sorry, 3 months, and then this 8 months. And then this is a sign that yeah, it'll be pretty easy going. So you got 53, which is a sign that this is going to be like an external thing that is going on in your life, but it's also not going to be very difficult of a situation. But it won't be anytime soon with this 8 here. So makes kind of sense with Pentacles, because Pentacles always comes off as, I mean, to me, it's close to a year minimum with Pentacles. Anytime that kind of energy comes up in any kind of timing stuff. So the fact that it's 8 months is pretty spot on to me. But I hope that things go well. I feel like I will do a bone reading for the weekend. What kind of energy we can expect going into the weekend, since the queue is quiet. All right, so this is just going to be a general energy for the weekend. What kind of things are you hoping for? Just focus on it as I shift these stones around, and let's see what we have. All right, so it looks like we have here, what number is this? That was a 2. I'm gonna turn this around so you guys can see everything. So this is a 2, this is a 50, so 52 here. And then we have a 5, and then what is that? 9. All right. So looks like this weekend might mean some losses financially, things that you thought might be new money things might not go quite so well, but ultimately you still have these this is saying, it's opening up doors for new horizons. So it's a sign that you should put this energy behind you going forward. And one of the things, uh, like I said, I just started to pull together these dice, so I can't, haven't committed all of them to memory yet, even though I literally created this system. Okay. So this here we have 1. So this is the earth energy. This is going to take a while to overcome and process, but yeah, I am live on YouTube. I do YouTube, my Facebook group, and Twitch. So this is saying that you need to root yourself a little bit, find those new horizons, open yourself up to new things, and push this negativity away from you. This is going to be a moderately difficult situation to overcome. Cheyenne, I do not. But what we have here is, it seems like if you work with like a spirit team, or if you are just very intuitive, you're going to discover some truths about some friends coming up soon, if not already. And that might be a little bit of a wearisome situation. That yeah, I would also, if that resonates with you, this would be a good thing to get a deeper dive with tarot on. And then if we look over here, so this is saying that overall this situation is going to be mostly external. So we mentioned friends, we mentioned like finances. That means it's not something like emotionally or mentally weighing on you. This is something external that's being pressed on you, but you will be able to overcome it easily. It's just going to take a while. It's going to be a bit of a you're only maybe halfway through this, a little over halfway through this process of pushing this stuff away, and that's, to be expected. This is going to be a overall a longer process, but not terribly difficult. So if we look here in our cluster of bones, it looks like there were some changes recently that might have caused some anxiety or stress. Maybe changes with your health that didn't quite go so well. And it might have been making you a little inflexible, but the good news is you're starting to get on top of that. And you've been really working on the fears and the things that might really just be holding you back from moving on. You've been working really hard to overcome that, and it really shows here. It's a sign that you're starting to feel really rejuvenated in that kind of aspect. But again, you have this cluster that you're starting to overcome, which is a sign from this 5 here that you're going through that, but you still have to process whatever this energy is here. This is very tightly clustered and still probably like a knot in your back or a knot in your shoulders that you have to work out. Over here, this is just a sign that maybe you're lacking a little bit of balance. You're very separated from this. So all of the things that are happening here, and that is just probably a sign that you should work on finding some balance in your life, which is complemented by this 1 here. You can't really see it from overhead, but this 1, this tackling or capturing this earth energy. So I would say, yeah, that one doesn't. Some minor things that I'm also seeing, that there were some growth that might have been a little disappointing. Maybe things didn't quite go to plan, but it wasn't anything that was detrimental. It doesn't seem to be anything that really weighs on you. Oh, and I do want to point out that maybe there were changes specifically like with health within your family, or your family has been noticing and pointing out these changes because they are at the core. They're intermingled in this entire cluster here. So whatever that is, that needs to be worked on as well, because they are hovering between your change and anxiety bone, and that could be a sign that they are either the root of it, like you're worrying, stressing about them, or they are causing this stress and anxiety. But like I said, whatever that is, you have been working hard at it. I will say that if you've only been focusing on one aspect, so these are really together. If you've only been focusing on one aspect, you should probably start to focus a little bit more on everything holistically. So, like I said, this cluster here, whatever is going on with your family, and then remember to put whatever disappointing financial opportunities that you had previously, put that behind you and start to process and move on. And then ultimately, your goal is to start to find a little more balance. So, that was a lot. That is more. Bones are really good for like a lot of overall holistically, like a holistic view of everything and overall general energy. So it was more than just what to take into the weekend actually. So why don't I, and if you enjoy these bone readings, I've finally started offering them in my shop. This is just a quick one, but I will kind of give you a preview of what that looks like. So usually you get a bone reading, and then I will pull like an oracle card to get like just like a word. People like words to focus on. Hi, Destiny. Go ahead and ask your question. So this is just going to be, as I shuffle, going to be a follow-up or an accompanying card to that previous bone reading. Let's see what we have. Empowerment. I love that. Which is probably part of finding that balance and financial health, which makes a lot of sense. All right, gonna cut that short so I can grab this reading here. But if you guys enjoyed these bone readings, they are offered in my shop for only 25 bucks. Hi V, how are you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Of course. I will let me get Destiny and then I will get you. And I will definitely pull 3 cards for you, V. Why did Keegan turn off his active status? Oh, I see. Why did Keegan turn his active status off? Okay, let's see. Let's cut this slippery deck. Ace of Cups in reverse. So we're back to we are back to these reversals here, guys. So the Ace of Cups in reverse. I feel like he probably turned the status off so he could escape from people. He doesn't want to have to face any of his like emotions, wants to just separate himself from whatever is going on in his life. And that could just be, be a sign that he's feeling vulnerable. I don't know what happened, but I feel like there's this element of vulnerability, and when that happens, people tend to shut down a little bit and kind of become recluses and just hide off from the world. So I think maybe that's just a sign that he just wanted to separate himself from that, so that way he either doesn't have to deal with the emotions, or he doesn't let the quote unquote world see those emotions. Blue flame, yeah, for sure. It's funny because people always come in waves. I've noticed it's either a nonstop like flood or they're like huge waves and then huge dips. Kayla, I have you in the queue. Yeah, if I mean, if this is someone that you know fairly well and you're worried he might be like stressed out or, upset about him, about something, it may not have to involve you. So maybe you could just see if I don't know, guys are weird. So they never want to talk about stuff, but you can see if maybe he wants to talk. And sometimes people just need to process on their own and then they'll bounce back. V, what is your question? But I don't think it doesn't the Ace of Cups in reverse is not like a mad card. So again, it's only one card, so it's hard sometimes to discern the full picture, but just from that alone, I wouldn't think that he was mad. Ooh, a firefighter. I'm just gonna say yes. But then Gemini, so then maybe. I'm kidding. All the important people in my life are Gemini. Let's see, V. Should you pursue a romantic connection with this Gemini firefighter friend? It's exciting. Oh, wow. You. So I was telling you, I've been getting a lot of reversals this whole night. And so at the core of this, you have this Ace of Pentacles pop up again. So I'm going to say, yeah, you definitely need to. Um, because then we have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands, which, so I love this. So you have this earth energy at the foundation of things. So I feel like this is a really good sign that you guys could put in some really good roots and you guys have this like beginning of things to come. But then on both sides here, I feel like this is saying that you're going to be able to feel like both the of Swords and Wands. And of course, I'm a little biased. I don't know why I said, of course, like that, but I am a little biased because I really love the Queen of Wands. But the Queen of Swords too is still. She is. I feel like this person is really going to just make you feel very confident and smart and just kind of check all of those buttons because that's what the Queen of Swords is. But then you also have this Wands, and I feel like he's gonna really, which is funny because he's a firefighter, but really ignite this fire, this passion. Uh, you'll tap into this like really emotional and or not emotional, fiery creativity, and I think it'll just probably bring out a really good side of you maybe you haven't had come out like this for a while, not for a person anyway. But yeah, I would say um totally totally go for it. Who doesn't want to feel like the Queen of Wands? I mean, I love the Queen of Wands, so I would say totally go for it. Especially I am biased towards Pentacles. I just really love that earth energy. It's very rooted and very stable. It builds this air stability. So I think that you should totally go for this V because it might be something that ends up being a really like important part or phase of your life, whether it's, something permanent or not. It would be something that impacts you very positively. That's exciting. Oh, and of course, with the queens too, there's that overall just emotional um maturity, that this intuition, this wisdom. So totally go for it, girl. Kayla, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Yeah, I feel like the Queen of Swords is probably actually, I love all the queens, but you're right, who doesn't wanna be the Queen of Wands, right? So if you've already been in the Queen of Swords phase, and I feel like it's just gonna be a progression to the Wands, which is just awesome, but they complement each other really, really well. I like how you're like, "It scares me." For me, it's the King of Swords. I can't stay in that mindset too long. I turn into the King of Swords in reverse. Um, sure. Let's do a general for Kayla. Let's see what general vibe do we have right now. We have I just was talking about the King of Swords in reverse. So and I was kind of like shit talking the King of Swords in reverse, but overall, I'd wonder if you are dealing with someone who is being a little uh manipulative or mean to you right now. If you or it could be a person, it could be you to yourself. Um I would just warn against staying in that energy, whether that means you remove yourself from that person or changing your mindset around. The King of Swords is uh they can become very mean. I'm trying not to use like really harsh words for the King of Swords, and it's hard doing a general reading with only one card. So I'm trying to just get a general vibe. But I think this is definitely something worth diving deeper into because and you might know it's hard for me, but you might know as I'm describing these things that someone pops up or an event pops up in your or in your mind that correlates to this King of Swords. um so I feel like right now you're dealing with that negative energy. This is a lot of really emotional baggage or mental baggage. Actually, it's really wearing you down mentally. And I just, it's not really fun energy to be dealing with. And one of the things I always like to say is find your way to flip that energy upright, because upright, this is a card of like strength and authority, but in a good way, because there's this air of wisdom and um intelligence as well. So yeah, I'm sorry, hun. Whatever is going on, it's not fun, I'm sure. All right. Kara, you will be my last one for the night. V, I'm so happy you stopped by. I always miss you guys' lives. Just YouTube does not notify me. Let's see. Kara, will you and Joel get back together? Let's see. Yeah, you should. That would be so fun. If I have the time, I'll help you moderate. Um, the Four of Swords to me is always a very ambiguous card because it puts the onus on you. And what I mean is it's this is your responsibility to do to get to the next phase to have a more hard set answer. The Four of Swords is suggesting that you and Joel need this period of break. So in that period is, I think, a better question to ask in the future is what you can do during this break that could lead to a better relationship in the future, if that makes sense. I just kind of formulated that off the top of my head, but that's what I get from this card, because The Four of Swords is a sign of rest. It's a sign of taking a break, taking a step back, and really just figuring things out. So if things have not been figured out yet, and this is not just you, it has to be both parties, which makes it difficult because everybody processes things at different rates. Some people just never end up processing things at all. So I think right now, did you guys just break up? Because there needs to be some time that happens before you start to wonder if you'll get back together. It's like a few steps between A through Z that need to happen. Hey Josh, I am actually gonna wrap it up soon, but if you have a question, I can take you as my last reading. Hopefully that helps a little bit, Kara. Oh, 2 years. Oh wow. Ooh, then the Four of Swords kind of makes me feel like this is more of a permanent rest than anything. It could just be a sign that you need to contemplate other options instead of worrying about, whether your ex is going to come back or not. Um so yeah, Joshua, if you would like a reading, let me know. You're so welcome, Kara. Sorry that wasn't more of a. It's harder with one card for sure. I know I say that a lot. All right. Well, guys, it is 8 o'clock. I'm not sure if I don't think we have any other questions. So I will go ahead and wrap it up. I will be here next Friday at 7 p.m. I might do an impromptu Sunday fun day where I might pull my bones back out, do some more readings. So make sure you are liked and subscribed on YouTube, and make sure you are following me on Twitch. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye.